Hello and welcome to Atheist Bible Study number 23. I'm Joe Dixon. Every week I read from the Bible and give it the atheist interpretation, which basically is the factual interpretation. I just basically read the shit and go like, really? Really? And I'm helped in this with the aid of alcoholic beverage. This is a Hebrew brewing company, and they put out the Lenny Bruce beer, or they don't call it Lenny Bruce beer, but I like calling it that. And so I'm having that. This is the last of the brewskis. Then next week I'll be drinking something else. But anyway, so let's drink this and let's get into the Bible study. Oh, but one quick message. I've been getting this a lot. A lot of these postings and mail, emails and stuff from people basically say, why do you read from it if you don't believe in it? Why do you read it? Because your bullshit affects me, that's why, asshole. Because your goddamn God, your fucking, I don't care if you're Muslim, which you probably are looking at this, but Muslims or Christians or Jews, religious Jews, fucking, you get into your goddamn books and you tell the rest of us how to fucking live. That's why I read this stupid goddamn thing that I don't believe in, because it's bothering me. That's why it bothers me. It bothers me that I have friends who are gay and want to get married, and your goddamn religion tells me, I don't like it. My faith says I can't have this thing. Nobody's asking about your faith. Keep it in yourself. You can't, then we're not going to keep it in ourselves about how much we don't like your faith. How about that? That's fair enough, right? I get assholes coming to my door and go, let me tell you about the story of Jesus Christ. Have you heard of the good news? I don't care about your good news. If I wanted your good news, I'd be at your church. I'm in my house. Don't come to my house. Tell them about your good news. I don't want to hear your good news. I want news. I go on the fucking TV or I go on the internet and get my goddamn news. That's where I get my news. Not from you freaks who believe Superman is in outer space and you're Jimmy Olsen telling me about his news. You're not Lois Lane. I'm not Perry White. Get the fuck out my face. All right. So that's ooh, that's a weird way to start. What a weird way to start an atheist Bible study, ladies and gentlemen. Clearly, I've begun drinking early today. So anyway, the 10 plagues. This is number 23 in Atheist Bible Study. Now, what's happened before is Moses and Aaron went to the Pharaoh and said, hey, God says you gotta let us go in the wilderness and pray. And the Pharaoh said, go in the wilderness and do what? What do you get the fuck out of my face? And so they went, and God told them to do this. So they went back to God and said, God, he's upset. And they're like, God said, I'll take care of it. And then they went to their people, and the rest of the people said, man, why did you go bother the Pharaoh? Now he's all pissed at the rest of us, you assholes. So anyway, so now God went and told Moses and Aaron are brothers, by the way, told them both, like, listen, go back to the Pharaoh. I'm going to harden his heart. But go back and ask him again. I don't know why I'm having you go back if I've just said I've hardened his heart, but I'm going to have you do it anyway, because apparently I'm just a raging asshole. All right, the 10 plagues, Atheist Bible Study 923. Moses and Aaron did as the Lord commanded them. Moses was 80 years old, and Aaron was 83 years old when they spoke to Pharaoh, because their ages are very, very important. And God spoke, why is that in there? Who cares? Anyway, and God spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, when Pharaoh asks you to show him a miracle, then you shall say to Aaron, take your rod and cast it upon before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent. So Moses and Aaron went before Pharaoh, and they did as the Lord had told them. Aaron cast down the rod before Pharaoh and his servants, and it became a serpent. Then Pharaoh called all the wise men and the sorcerers and the magicians of Egypt. In the same manner, each man threw down his rod, and they all became serpents. But Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods. You remember how you have a rod and you can swallow it? You're like, man, dude, I don't want to brag, but my rod can totally swallow your rod. Excuse me. My rod, serpent, can swallow up you. But Aaron's rod swallowed up there. Yeah, my rod can swallow up your rod. Oh, can you say homoerotic, boys and girls? Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just said I'm for gay marriage. I'm not knocking the gays. I just think it's funny. This is what the rod and the snake and it's bizarro. It's bizarre world, but it's religion. So of course it's bizarre world because they don't know what the fuck's going on. And another thing, if I had a girlfriend, theoretically, someday I'll have one. I've had ones before. I'll have them again. If she gets pregnant and we don't want to have that kid, I want to fucking be able to do that between me, her, and our doctor. Not you and your freakish, it's a soul inside the body. It's a soul and the baby and the sperm and the eggs and the I don't care about your religion. Stay out of my goddamn business. If I want to abort, I'll abort. Get out of here. All right. So that's why I'm reading for your stupid Bible, even though I don't believe in it, because you fucking pissed me off with your stupid nonsense. The plague upon I am insane today. What is my fucking problem? My problem is this shit. All right, the plague upon the river. Then the Lord hardened Pharaoh's. And by the way, how come they never, you know what I would like to see? I'm sorry, Atheist Bible Study listeners. I will get watchers. I'll get back to this, but you know what I'd like to see? I would like to see one priest, rabbi, imam, I don't give a shit, the Pope. When the Pope comes to England, I want some reporter who interviews these people to ask them, how do we know you speak to God? Can you please prove that you are actually deserve to be called Pope? Can you prove that you should be a priest? Where's your proof? I mean, you see Richard Dawkins, the man has a degree in science. Okay, it's not a degree in science, you know what I mean, biology. What have he studied at Oxford? What do you want from me? But the point is that these people actually have, scientists actually have degrees in shit. They studied the shit, they passed the shit, that's just teaching the shit. They got the shit. Who the fuck are these people? Who the fuck is Pat Robinson? Please prove to me that Pat Robinson is really, he says he's a religious leader. What proof do we have? What proof do they ever present that they have the right to be speaking for Superman in outer space? Let's assume that I'm wrong, that there is a God. Let's say that too. How do we have any evidence that he's talking to these motherfuckers? How do we know he's not talking to the guys we put in the psych ward? There's as much evidence that God is speaking to someone in the psych ward as there is that he's speaking to the Pope. Please prove different. Prove that he's not speaking to the guy in the psych ward who's in the same sense of, I'm Jesus Christ, I'm Jesus Christ. How do you know he's not? Prove that he isn't. I bet he can be nailed up too. The plague upon the river. Then the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, so that he did not listen to them. See, because God is fucking with them. I want you to do this assignment, but I'm going to keep hardening Pharaoh's heart, because whatever. Anyway. The Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, so that he did not listen to them. And the Lord had said, as the Lord had said. And God spoke to Moses, saying, Pharaoh's heart is hardened. He refused to let the people go, which I had nothing to do with. Like you said, he's not really to let people go. His heart is hardened. Why? Because I did it. What a dick. So go to Pharaoh again in the morning. He is going out to the river. You shall stand by the river until he comes, and take in your hand the rod which is turned into a serpent. God loves that rod. Loves that rod. Turns into a serpent. You shall say to him, the Lord God of the Hebrews has sent me to you, saying, let my people go, so that they may worship me in the wilderness. They love the wilderness worship. Wilderness with rods. Ladies and gentlemen, you figure it out. Yet up to this time you would not listen. Now these are the words of the Lord. In this way you shall know that I am the Lord. Behold, I will strike the rod that is in my hand upon the water in the river, and it shall be turned to blood. And the fish in the river shall die. Why? I don't know. What the fuck did the fish do? I'm going to kill off the fish to teach the Pharaoh something. I'm not going to do anything to Pharaoh. I'm just going to do shit around Pharaoh, because I don't know. This God thing, God is not very good at. He has no idea. I'm going to kill fish. You remember Noah's Ark? I'm going to kill all the animals in the world, except two, put them about. Why the other animals have to die? What sins did they commit? None, but I'm fucking God. I don't give a shit. I'm full of love, and how I show love by killing lots of things. And the fish in the river shall die, and the river shall smell foul, and the Egyptians shall not want to drink of the river. Well, sure, it's got dead fish in it. Great, God, that's fantastic. So basically, children can't drink fresh water because you have a problem with the Pharaoh, whose heart you've hardened. You created the situation, you dick. Then God said further to Moses, oh, I'm sorry, the religious people watching is upset that I said God is a dick. Well, you know what? He's a fucking dick. Your God is a dick. Your God is a total dick. Dick. D-I-C-K. Dick. Dickaroony. Dick-orific. What a goddamn dick. Fortunately, he doesn't exist, so don't worry about it. Then God said to Pharaoh, say to Aaron, take your rod and stretch out your hand upon the waters of Egypt, upon her streams, upon her rivers, upon her ponds, all her ponds of water, so that they must become blood, so that they may be blood throughout all the land of Egypt, in all the pails of wood and jugs of stone. Moses and Aaron did everything as the Lord commanded. Aaron lifted up his rod and struck the water in the river. What? Aaron lifted up his rod and struck the water in the river in the sight of Pharaoh and his servants, and all the waters in the river turned to blood. And the fish in the river died, and the river smelled foul, so that the Egyptians could not drink the water of the river. So everybody's got to be punished because God has a problem with the Pharaoh. But the magicians of Egypt could do the same with their enchantments, so the Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he did not listen to Moses and Aaron as the Lord had said. So apparently the magicians also turned it into the thingamabob, to kill all the fish in the water, but they chosen not to. Only God has chosen to do this because, well, I already explained what God's problem is. Pharaoh turned and went into his house. He has a house? I think he had his palace. Well, it says house here, ladies and gentlemen. What do you want from me? Pharaoh turned and went to his house, his heart unmoved by this, and all the Egyptians dug around about the river for water to drink, for they could not drink of the water of the river. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is only one of the plagues. Or what did I do two? Well, the plagues haven't come yet. The plague of frogs is next in the 24 Atheist Bible study. Are these getting shorter? They seem short, right? Maybe I should make them long. I don't know. I just know people like to short and pithy, in and out. That's the rule in broadcasting, which I'm not in, but nonetheless. So next we're going to do the plagues of the frogs. That's the next Atheist Bible study. And then next week after that, then 2 weeks, I guess, we're going to do the plague of lice. God is just plaguing up every shit. Then we're going to do the plague of the flies. And then we're going to have the plague upon the cattle. Again, animals being hurt for shit they didn't do. And then plague of the sores. Yeah, plague of your sores. Fortunately, I managed to avoid any plague sores myself. Anyway, then we're going to have plague of hail and fire. Then plague of the locusts. There's going to be a lot of upcoming plagues, ladies and gentlemen. Stick around. And then going to have plague of the darkness. Plague upon the firstborn. Oh, great. Kill kids. Plague upon the firstborn. Oh, the babies. Oh, the innocent babies. Oh, we can't have an abortion. They're killing babies. God kills babies. Yeah, fuck. But if you mind your own goddamn business, there'd be no need. There'd be no need for Atheist Bible study. There wouldn't be the need. Sam Harris and Richard Dawkins and Chris Fetchit, we wouldn't say shit because, well, let them believe their nonsense and not bothering the rest of us. Who cares? But you fuckers do. Not to mention you assholes who necessarily don't necessarily bother anyone, but then you cut off your children's clitorises and the tip of their dicks. That's kind of freakish and should be stopped too. Sorry, really is stupid. Really is stupid and freakish. The kid wants to grow up and get his dick cut, that's his business. But don't cut it as a child. I don't care if it's your kid. Oh, it's my child. I can do what I want with it. No, you can't. You can't do anything. You can't have sex with it. You can't starve it. And you can't cut off the tip of its dick. That seems to be a smart rule to me, but what do I know? I'm a goddamn atheist.